All right, so today is June 19th, 2021. It is Juneteenth, and I guess it's celebrating what happened on June 19th, 1866, I believe, 2 months. 2 months after the Civil War ended, and it took place in Texas. And yeah, and I guess Trump would have signed it into law had he still been president. So uh, there is an issue whether it's a conservative or liberal thing. And there's a question, do we need another holiday? But there's also the ideal of holidays named after people are not necessarily good, in my opinion, because we are a country of laws, not of men. So days like Christopher Columbus, Washington or Lincoln's birthday, Martin Luther King holiday, these are all men, and not everything they did uh, would be agreeable to at least a large plurality, if not the masses. So I kind of like the idea of holidays named after events than of people. I think maybe Independence Day, Juneteenth, the day when that in Texas where they officially, I think that would have commemorated every Southerner being free. So I do like that idea. I think one of the reasons why there has been such resistance as of now is that the left's moral authoritarianism, not only on the country, but it seems like on the civilized and much of the Western world, we have seen real moral authoritarianism and just the freedoms of speech, the freedom to speak freely, which the internet used to have until 2015, which it might have been 2014 or 2015. I don't know what year the first ad apocalypse happened, where just people were speaking freely, they were speaking their minds, and then a lot of these companies, and I think it was primarily the HR departments within these companies, uh, were hearing things that went against the leftist establishment, notions about racism, about sexism, about sexuality, but primarily about racism and their views of racism. And they didn't like what was being said. And this had been done already primarily on college campuses, but the internet was like a big, it was like a big, old time college campus where people can really, like really come together from all parts of the world and all parts of the nation and really speak ideology in their mind. And that's kind of ended. The one freedom I want right now is the freedom of speech and the freedom of a free internet where all kinds of thoughts and ideas can can be forward. Can we have a day like that? Can we have Can we have a day where we have a free and open internet where things like hate speech and other things aren't put out there? Uh, as of now, we see our police demoralized. I've heard that some of these big cities, over 40% of police are dropping out. The riot police in Portland have dropped out, and law and order seems to be, I guess, kind of passe in these places. I don't think that has popular support, but the establishment has pushed a kind of anti-police narrative, and you certainly don't have freedom of speech out into the street, primarily because of the internet, because of social media. A lot of these groups like Antifa and BLM will use physical force to shut you down, and also economically punish you if you say something that you they did that they disagree with. The thing about cancel culture is it really denies due process, and these things were strengthened by social media, and then those that fight against it are censored by social media. So they are really affecting policy, and I guess they're allowed to kind of get away with it. There was a time when movies, when media was censored, the radio, the FCC censored the radio. Movies were censored. They had the Hayes office, and then they also had the Legion of Decency, which restricted what films, what was acceptable within cinema. And now we have, I think today the ADL and the SPLC are the modern versions of the Hayes and the Legion of Decency, except what they do affects policy far more, and they have their hands in the pot. This no hate for profit type of thing that they put out there. And by the way, they will not debate with people the things that they've done and the things that they continue to do. So I hope to have, the celebration of freedom and the ending of slavery is a good thing. I would like to have also the freedom of speech. And again, there are some people out there saying that freedom, this freedom will not, Juneteenth will just be just not have much meaning if there isn't reparations with that. It's something that could be discussed. Blacks in America, the descendants of slaves, did suffer a unique persecution even after slavery, and perhaps were uniquely barred from this robust and great American economy. So there is an argument for that, but there's also an argument for common sense. And like I said, there's a lot of things out there, a lot of misconceptions and myths that are allowed to go through because of censorship. I mean, from welfare statistics to the murder rate to the rape rate, all the things you cannot say out there because of censorship and political correctness. And along with Juneteenth, how about we have a day where we have an internet and a social media company where we are allowed to speak freely on information and facts, and let the chips fall where they may. I think we're all adults, and we all have the potential to be intellectual and not emotional. Emotion is the enemy can be the enemy of reason. When you go before a court, actually, it's not a court of justice. It is a court of law, and sometimes you want to see what is the best solution to a problem, and there are trade-offs. But leftists, on average, don't want trade-offs. They want full and they want total and absolute control, and that's really unfortunate. I'll go more into to detail on the things that they've done and the hypocrisy that that they preach, but I'll save that for a later time. I just want to say this, that uh, all human beings are worthy. They may not be entitled, they may not be able to get it, but they are worthy of rational and reasonable behavior. And that's something that's not necessarily done today. Anyway, this has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below as well. Thank you for joining me.